Hey everybody, Spaceman Spiff here with episode 21 of Spaceman Climbs. And today I have another Elf vs. Orc for you, but I do a bit of a different strategy this game, something a little more outside the box than the more recent Elf vs. Orc game I posted. So I thought it would be a fun one. There's definitely a couple cringy moments that you're going to see, but that happens. I've said it before, I'm definitely not the strongest player out there, so bear with me, and hopefully the game's at least fun to watch for other reasons. So I started out, I'm opening with a standard elf build. I kind of screwed up, but against Orc you should try and build something that would form a line so that the Blade Master, I'm expecting a Blade Master and Grunts to be his opening. So against that combo, I definitely want to build a wall here so that my tier 2 structures are safe. So I should be doing that. I think I kind of screwed it up already, but that's what I should be doing, and I'm building an Ancient of War here so I can do a quick power creep on the green camp. I was not entirely sure what hero I wanted to go first. You know, I tend to avoid going the cookie cutter strategies or the mainstream strategies, so I'm not going to be going Demon Hunter. I was also considering a couple others. I think you're going to see... What do I build? Yeah. So I decided what this tells you, at least when I'm playing, is that I'm going a Tavern hero. So I started building a Demon Hunter. You know I'm not going Demon Hunter. But now at least if the opponent comes into Scout, he's going to see a hero coming from the altar. So he's not necessarily going to, he's going to come in and think I'm getting an Elf hero. He's not going to think I'm getting a Tavern hero. So that's the reason I'm getting him. I definitely am planning on canceling as he gets later on because I'm going to be getting a Tavern hero this game. My Ancient of War is now up. I'm a little delayed in getting my first Archer. He's going to come eventually, I hope. See, again, not the strongest player in the world. I think what this indicates is that I'm not entirely sure what I'm going. So I built a Moonwell here, which I think is a terrible place to build a Moonwell. I should have put it in here, or I should have spaced this properly so that I could get a good line. But I put it here, and now nothing's protected. I have a little bit of a line to micro my Wisps if he comes to harass, but this is not a good spot. I do finally have an Archer coming out. I'm bringing some Wisps to repair in case I decide it's necessary. And I'm going Naga first, which, you know, is vulnerable to a Blade Master and Grunts for sure, right? It takes a lot of damage. I don't have any meat if I'm going Naga and Archers. There's not a lot of sustain in my army. But if I can get some good focus firing in, if I can get a good number of Archers out, I can really deal a lot of damage and control the battle when it comes to the later stages when he's got 4 Grunts and a Blade Master against, hopefully, and look at that, I lost a kill to the Ancient of War. I'm really bad at the game. But hopefully I can pick up some, like a power swing when he's at the 4 Grunts and a Blade Master point, and I'm around Naga and hopefully a group of maybe 10 or 11 Archers, and I can just focus fire them down quickly. That's what I'm thinking, or that's what I'm hoping to do at this point. You can see my build is all over the place, so I'm making it up as I go, and I'm going to start streaming, so you'll see that I do a lot of this a lot of the time, where, like this game, I didn't come in thinking I'm doing this strategy. I'm kind of winging it as I go, but that's what I was... Either way, so I'm up here creeping. I see that he's crept the item, but that's okay. He's doing exactly what we expect an Orc to do, right? He probably got the item here, he probably got the item here, and he might be going for the Observer Ward. No. Oh, he's up here getting the item now. So he's got good items except for the Ring of Protection. He sold his Teleport, I guess, but doing exactly what we expect an Orc to do. So I figured I'll finish this off. Because I see that he's taken the item, what that indicates to me is he's probably not coming back anytime soon, right? He's going to another camp so he can try and get another awesome item. So this is going to be a safe zone for me to creep, and I decided to take advantage of that. I'm not getting the item, but it will get me level 2, which is nice. It gives me a little more health, and Forked Lightning is, you know, against Blade Master Grunts, probably not great, but it does give me that little bit of extra reach in case he gets greedy and I can burst him down a couple, maybe 100 health at once. Whatever the damage is. I know it's probably not that high, but either way. The Ancient of Wonder is going down. My tech is on the way. My base is abysmal. I don't know what I was thinking here. This should be a firm line. I should have at least pocketed my Wisps. I have Wisps all over the place. Everything's vulnerable. This is embarrassing, right? That's not what you do. I talked about it in my Elf vs. Orc, or in my Ladder 101 for Elf. Take a look at that if you don't know what I'm talking about, but this is not a good base for an orc game. Either way, I came over here. I'm picking up another easy creep. I'm way behind in archers because I wasn't sure what I was doing for too long early on. But that's not the end of the world because they do build quickly, and now I'm pumping them out. I am at already a max of 50 food, which means if he comes to press me, I have a lot of moonwells. I'm probably going to be able to defend pretty well, even though I don't have that many archers. I made that trade-off, and it's okay. It's not really where I want to be. I'm not going to try and defend this strategy or this particular game that I'm playing very well, but it's an alternate defense. And now I'm coming in. I'm thinking I can probably get some harassment in. This is probably the time he's hitting tier 2 because I know I was behind. My base, my build, everything was just off this game. So I know I'm behind. He's probably tier 2. He's probably got his tier 2 structures going up. And boom, look at that. Tier 2. And he's probably going to start him. But his Blade Master comes into my main. And let's see how this goes. Also, I should be in there, not creeping. What am I doing? I see the Blade Master. Let's see his timing. Oh, he still hasn't started. Well, that's good. By the way, I should be in there harassing a burrow even, not creeping his green camp. I don't know what I'm doing. He has dust, so he was prepared, and he catches this archer. I think I'll be able to micro it around enough to survive for a bit. Yeah. But he comes here, he starts finding wisps, and I can't protect them. Right, I'm trying to do some entangled gold mine micro, but I'm bad at it. And then I saw his grunts run in, so I decided to teleport. So this is exactly what the orc wants me to do, right? He forced a teleport out of me. His tier 2 structures are now going up uncontested just as I'm arriving at his base. This is going abysmally for me. His Blade Master's in here. He's got a wisp kill already, and his grunts are getting away. So this is he's done exactly what he wanted to do. My base is terrible, so he gets a wisp kill. He gets another wisp kill because I'm not detonating. Like this is what I meant by cringeworthy. I don't have dust, even though I can buy it right now. I lose an archer. I lose another wisp. How bad is this? How bad is this? I look terrible. He does decide to come back in with his grunts, and now I'm going to use my dust to be able to force him back, because now we're in the spot where like I said before, my moonwells are enough to push him back. He's going to get another wisp kill here, again, because I'm terrible. But these grunts and Blade Master can no longer do anything because I'm in position to deal with them, and I have enough firepower with my moonwells that he can't do much. But if I had had that firm line, the Blade Master would have done nothing instead of killing like 6 wisps and an archer, right? That was really, really, really bad. There's another wisp. So he's level 3. This is looking terrible. I have a level 2 Naga and 3 archers, and I don't know what's happening anymore, right? So I decided desperate times, desperate measures. I'm going all in. I know he still doesn't have a big army yet. His tier 2 structures are up, but his units are probably not out. So I throw down a wind, I start pumping out wisps, and I'm going to start doing an Ancient of War push because I'm so far behind. I can't try and go Druid of the Talon now. He's going to be prepared for that army before it comes online. Dryads, he's going to be prepared for. He's going to be prepared for bears. Like, I'm just so far behind at this point, especially considering I have to build so many wisps. But so I thought this is probably the thing that will come online fastest for me at this point. So the Ancient of Wind is almost up. I'm getting some more wisps, and Nature's Blessing is an absolute must if you're doing something like this. I think I'm starting. Yeah, I decided to get a Priestess of the Moon second just to bump the damage output of my archers. And I'm going to be getting Druid of the Talon from the Ancient of Winds. Not mass, I'm not upgrading them, just a couple to get Fairy Fire out there and to just try and get more damage output. Because if his units are Fairy Fired, my Focus Fire from a Naga and Archers is that much more effective. So this play now is basically make sure these survive, and that's why I'm not trying to creep right now. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm hanging around until these finish because that's absolutely critical, right? I need these to finish. If these don't finish and he engages my army, I'm going to get run over. So I'm playing cautiously, and only now that these are basically guaranteed to go up, I'm going to move forward. I see that his Blade Master is back in my base, which sucks because I am not prepared to deal with a Blade Master in this base at all. But that means his Blade Master is not at his base or really that close, so I'm going to be able to deal some damage and distract him. So yeah, he's still over here, gets another Wisp kill, but I move in on a burrow. So this is a vulnerable army. Not something you should do unless it's really, like, I'm in a dire circumstance, right? And I knew his Blade Master wasn't around, so I did that. It causes a little damage. It frustrates him. I see that his army's here, so I pulled back immediately. And now this is what I have. A level 1 Priestess, level 2 Naga, and 1, 2, 3 Ancient of Wars marching in. Let's see. I've got 37 of 50 food. Like I said, I'm at 50 food. So I'll be able to pump Archers and Druid of the Talon like it's nobody's business. And I am way overcommitting on Wisps, but I, will need them because I need that wood income, especially if I'm going to be building more Ancient of Wars, which is the play. So I have my Wisps rallied here or here, so they'll be close to the fight. And now let's watch. He big whiff on a first shockwave, so that was nice. This is my spot. And the only thing I have to do now, I'm thinking, like, he's got a reasonable army, level 2 Tauren Chieftain, level 3 Blade Master, the exact combo we expect from an orc every game against Elf, and he's done a ton of damage to me, right? He a disgusting amount of damage to me. He's feeling so comfortable right now. But this is my all-in. I've got a reasonable force here, and I'm just going to try and keep my units behind my trees. I don't need to attack with my trees, I just need my units behind them. And he knows that, so look, he's trying to sweep around and catch me behind. But I'm on top of that. I bring my 2 trees down, his Blade Master pops out, and I cast Fairy Fire. Look at this Focus Fire now. This does a lot of damage. I get the Forked Lightning and Blade Master kill, right? That's huge. My trees are in pretty good position. He's attacking 2 archers and then my heroes, but for the most part my range units are in a safe spot. And now I did get a quick kill on his Blade Master, which is really, really big. Level 3 on my Naga. I think I probably got cold arrows, but you can make a case for Forked Lightning here as well, just because that's a lot of damage output when he's just got 5 units, right? If 3 of them take damage and he has 5 units, that's sizable. And he's forced to run back. Now my trees are alive, and I'm in an alright spot. So I decided I'd try and take out his altar, force him to come back, because I didn't know if he had heals on him, but he did, and he's coming back anyway. I am building 1 more Ancient of War. Here are the Wisps that I have rallied, and now it's just be calm. Now all of a sudden it's looking really pretty good for me. I managed to, he's repairing. So I picked off 1, 2 peons. He's spending resources there. And now he's going to be coming in over on this side, where my units are overcommitted. Again, he's avoiding my trees, so we're playing the same game. I'm now going to pull my trees over and try and bring my units back this way. Yep. So good in snares. He picks off 1 archer, 2 archers, 3 archers. Really good in snares there. I overcommitted on that side, and he made a good move there. So now he's dealing some damage, a nice shockwave, but the trees are still here. 45 to 55 damage is pretty solid. Pretty solid. So he's focus firing my weak units, but I've got enough around. Both my heroes are still alive. I summoned my Owl Scout way preemptively. The Blade Master's not even close to out yet, but I got that just because I'm feeling pretty comfortable and I don't want a Blade Master to pull anything sneaky on me. And things are starting to look like they're going in my favor, right? I've still got the 3 trees at full health. All his units are super weak at this point. My heroes are at full health. And now I win the game. So how did this happen, right? It was big that I got the Blade Master pick for sure, but that's something I would have been able to do at any point. He could have positioned a little better, but still, I think this is a really interesting game. So I'm focusing it down. He does get his Blade Master out on time, but I've got my scouts out. I've got Fairy Fire. He starts hitting my Priestess, but the damage output, even from just a couple units, when he's got Fairy Fire on him and I've got cold arrows, is too much. So the Blade Master goes down again, and now he's going to leave the game. Now he's going to leave the game, and I'm coming out with a win that I absolutely did not think I was going to get. After that harass in there, I was pretty upset. That was, abysmal play after already a pretty weak opening, and now I'm feeling super strong. He's lost his altar, so he can't get his heroes back. I have a couple weak units, and you know me. I'm an advocate of playing it cool, calm, collected. I've got the win now. I don't need to stand under a bunch of burrows and take damage that might allow him to get back into the game. Instead, I am going to regroup, pull my units back, make sure everyone's healed, and then go in with the trees tanking. So that's my approach here. You can see I'm just ensuring the win by throwing down more Ancient of Wars. And the game's over for sure. Wadlam calls good game, and I think he's going to leave right now. Yeah. So I thought that was a really interesting game, right? He crushed me at one point. We're gonna watch it one more time. I'm gonna do it pretty quickly, but I want to watch from his perspective because I really want to emphasize it. This was, like he played completely standard orc, and despite having a devastating harass, exactly what the orc wants to do to an elf, I was still able to beat him with a Naga and Ancient of War play because, again, I'm capitalizing on this weak point where he's going to tier 2 and trying to build a bunch of things at once. So I'm going to speed it up. Blade Master coming up, completely normal orc build. Grunt, yep. Voodoo, so he's doing the 2 burrow tech. There is a 1 burrow tech, but, he sells his scroll and doesn't go for the Sentry Ward. He probably could go for the Sentry Ward there, but this is still good. He gets Ring of Protection, not what he wants. Comes up here, creeps this. Completely standard from the orc. He's teching to tier 2. Gets Gloves of Haste, not the greatest item, but a pretty good item. And level 2 on his Blade Master. Heals up, and now, where is he going? He scouts out here. So I guess he should have scouted there before, but that's okay. Comes, gets this, a Claws of Attack plus 6. So he, again, playing a completely standard orc. There's his Boots of Speed. I definitely benefited from him not having scouted. But still, he comes in. And let's see. We'll count exact figures here. At this time, there's his Bestiary. Here's his Spirit Lodge. There it is. His 3 grunts arrive. His Torn Chieftain is partway out. My units are going to arrive just on time to cancel. And then I teleport away because I have to deal with him because he beat me to the punch. So again, I never should have crept that. I should have had a clean base, so none of these wisps died. I just said I was going to get a clean count and didn't. But still, this is devastating. Again, completely standard orc. And now let's see. From here, he gets a big heal on this grunt. I killed nothing. He's feeling super comfortable right now. Let's see, he's got his first Spirit Walker on the way, his Raider on the way. Does he have Berserker Strength? No. Okay. And he creeps this. Perfect sense, right? It's not crept yet. You want to pick this up on cross spawns, and this is the exact time when I am setting up my Ancient of Wars. So, this worked out really well. It makes sense that he would creep this. He has map control. He wants to take this. I think this is what most strong players would do. You could also go scouting with your Blade Master and you'd creep this with your Torn Chieftain and grunts. But still, this is for those of us not top tier, this is exactly what we would expect to see, and this is good play. And now he was going for it. He scouted out with his Blade Master a little bit, but he's taking some damage, so. Oh, do I get no grunt kill? Ah, he came back to get a heal on his Blade Master. That's what he's doing. So again, he's coming in for more harass. It makes a lot of sense to set up here. And I didn't want to go poking and prodding because that would have drawn him back to attack me here, and he potentially would have seen this. Or then he would know for his Torn Chieftain and grunts to run this way to try and cut me off or do something. Instead, I'm standing at my Ancient of Wars. So I'm falling behind in terms of creep and everything. I don't have a whole lot of momentum, but at least I'm ensuring this happens. I'm not overextending or showing my position. Ugh. This is so gross. Only now he sees me. And I think I'm a little lucky. I catch him when he's healing. But that's pretty standard. He has 2 Raiders, so he could have gotten an Ensnare or 2 on these, but he'd have to use his Speed Scroll, and, you know, that's going to happen. And here's the push. So we've seen a completely standard orc play. He thought he was ahead. I killed a burrow, which did supply block him. That's really nice for me. But now he's in trouble. All of a sudden, despite all that damage, my army is it bigger than his? 42? Yeah, my army is bigger than his. Because I didn't build those tier 2 structures, and because I was able to get these up pretty quickly. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a great idea to watch his perspective, because I'm not too sure what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about his thought process. But it's looking really Like, again, this is completely standard work. This happens every game, and I just ran over this guy with this push after he completely outplayed me. Like, he made me look bad for a long time. But now he can't do anything. There's this mass range strategy. There's the big ensnares. That was big for him. So this is exactly what you want to avoid. This is where he's starting to look like he might have a fighting chance, because he caught my range units outside of position of my Ancient Wars. So that's the key thing to keep in mind. Yeah, look how much damage he did that time, coming in from the side. It's just now that my Ancient Wars are able to deal damage, it's too much. Let's see, Raiders, they take extra damage too from normal attacks. They're taking extra 45, 55 damage. I don't know. So this was a fun game, right? I wonder if this Priestess of the Moon was really worth it, because I did lose a lot of units. Maybe it would have been better to pick up a Tinker, or maybe it would have been better to pick up a Beastmaster to get those summons out, and maybe a Hawk in place of a Scout. I don't know. I think if the strategy goes more cleanly and I just have my 50 army and don't lose a ton of stuff to his harass, then the Priestess of the Moon is probably better, because of course any aura is better in a bigger army. But seeing the flow of this game and seeing how far behind I was, I think it would probably have been better to get a Beastmaster or a Tinker or anything that would help with survivability. Because with this kind of push, it was survivability I needed, not as much damage output from the Priestess. Maybe? You can make an argument either way. Because clearly, like, the game worked for me. The damage output was great, so there's that. Anyway, well, that's the game. I'm going to speed it up. We don't need to watch anymore. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Questions, comments, criticisms, welcome. What are the other things I always say? If you liked it, please like the video. If you could subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And either way, have a great rest of your day.